even though no one saw or heard anything. Anything at all. No one heard our screaming, the lights, the humming sound. How the fuck? Told them that we got drunk but didn't fight or anything. I had no idea what happened to Danny. They release me in time for dinner. Head still pounding and my whole body aches, especially my neck. 4 helped, but I wanted to get actual food in my body. Danny wasn't in the cafeteria. Didn't see him for another 3 days. Danny tells me they questioned him asking why I attacked self-inflicted, that he had a nightmare and he clawed and hit himself in his sleep. They kept him under observation to make sure he didn't try and hang himself or something. Neither of us want to talk about what happened that night. All he asked was, "You saw them too, didn't you?" I nodded. "You know that they're not going to let you go now, right? Once they set their eyes on you, you're in their sight for life." Been drinking so typing is going slower so I make sure I don't fuck up so badly. I think I might look for the pictures he sent me. I know I have them around here somewhere, and I think I have some letters from him too. Obviously creeped the fuck out. Neither of us sleep well for the next weeks. Nothing major happens until a few nights before I'm out. Mostly headaches and nosebleeds. Go to sleep, wake up in the middle of the night to the humming noise and bright red light. Please God no, not again, I can't take this again. The humming died down and the light fades away. I breathe a sigh of relief. I realized it was probably just sleep paralysis. Used to happen to me as a kid, but I'd just see the old hag. Fall back asleep. Wake up to the sound of guards yelling at me and slamming open the door. They tell me to get up and spread up against the wall, hands up. What the fuck is going on? Start barraging me with questions. Where did Danny go? How did he get out? Did you help him? What.jpg? Keep telling them I didn't do anything and know nothing. They bring me to a room to interrogate me more. After a few hours of the same shit, they let me go. Talk to some other inmates who are in my cell block, they didn't see anything either. A guard who was friendly told me the cameras caught nothing either. It's like Danny up and vanished. Danny was gone for 3 days. Cops put out a APB for him, thinking he escaped. On the last day, some convicts found him in the rec yard, his foot somehow pinched in between weights that were already on a bar. He had to go to the prison hospital for dehydration and some broken ribs, as I found out later. They never found him on footage on any camera, so there was an investigation to see if there was a cop trying to get inmates out. Dunno if anything ever came of that, but I know for a fact this wasn't the cops. There's no way he would vanish without a trace and then reappear clipped through fucking metal. I never got to see Danny again. I left the day after he came back. He wrote me a few weeks after I left, telling me the night he vanished he saw the red lights again, and he hoped it would be the last either of us did. But we both kept seeing them. I don't have it happened often, but Danny probably does. Looking for his letters now. He had a few stories.
let's talk about Loot Crate. What the heck is Loot Crate? I'm going to tell you, it is a cool monthly subscription service where you get a box full of of the coolest shit you could possibly get. I'm talking like t-shirts, action figures, comics, stuff for your kitchen, basically a wide range of exclusive items that you can't get anywhere else. And you have stuff from like real franchises. This is stuff that is actually manufactured. This is not like second tier. It's not like Mighty Morphin Power Lieutenants. This is like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and it's not like Larry Chotter. It's a real Harry Potter. I mean, they got Harry Potter, Marvel Comics, Fallout 4, Star Wars, everything. For $20 a month, you get this cool box full of nerdy shit. I love Loot Crate, even though they never even sent me a sample box. I had to do it myself. I had to pay my own money. But this is for the geeks and the gamers out there and for the pop culture nerds just like me. For $20 a month, you get 68 items, including licensed gear, apparel, collectibles, and unique one-of-a-kind items. You have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive that month's crate, and then when it's done, it's over, okay? You can't get it anymore. That is it. So make sure you head over to lootcrate.com/bonkers and enter the code BONKERS, BONKERS, to save 10% off any new subscription. Get your nerd on. It's like a less believable live-action Ratatouille. We saw Simply Irresistible, so you know what that means.
Now it's time for How Did This Get Made? We're gonna have a good time, celebrate some failure, not just being a hater, cause we really wonder how did this get made? Let's wallow in the mediocrity of some part. Perhaps we'll find the answer to the question, how did this get made?
Hello, people of Earth, and welcome to How Did This Get Made? I am your host, Paul Scheer, joined, as always, by June Diane Raphael. How are you, June?
I'm great. How are you, Paul?
I am very good. Thank you for asking. And Jason Mantzoukas. Jason, how are you?
How are you, Paul? I'm great. Hooray!
That is the energy that I love to hear at the top of the
I'm
episode.
full of whole food sushi, and I'm ready to rock. Boom!
We have a very special guest for a very special movie. He is a How Did This Get Made all-star. That means because he's been in another episode. You might remember him from Crank 2. It's his own biography called Kanye West Owes Me $300. Please welcome Jensen Karp.
Oh, hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thanks for having me back on. I'm very excited.
Of course.
We were talking before you got on the air that you've gone from Crank 2 to this. I would say on the spectrum of film, this really... You've really covered it.
I'm technically the bookends of How Did This Get Made.
Really?
I feel like I've hit both sides. I've hit the best movie, and now I'm going to argue I'm up there for the worst.
The alpha and the omega.
Yes.
Well, this is an interesting movie. Sarah Michelle Gellar, 1999, at the height of her buffiness between season 4 and season 5 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I saw this movie in the theater by myself. That's how much of a Buffy fan I was.
I was a Buffy fan, but I did not go see this in the movie theaters by myself.
To support your cast members when they make that breakout.
Oh, I get it. Believe
Amelia
me.
Clark, Terminator Genesis. I was there. I'm supporting these people. I want them to become successes.
You should have been government tagged for seeing this in the theater alone.
It was a disappointment. It was a disappointment.
Even then, you knew it didn't pass muster.
No,
Mustard?
I wasn't. What is it? Is it mustard?
No, it's mustard.
It's mustard.
Yeah. No, it's mustard.
Oh boy, here we go.
I was disappointed by this movie, but
Like in the game Clue. It was Colonel Mustard.
It didn't pass
in the study.
I thought it came from Clue. It didn't pass mustard. So he was like, I caught you. I know what's going on.
You're not getting past me, Colonel Mustard.
The smartest man in the game of Clue. So I remember seeing this, being such a Buffy fan, and I think I feel the feeling that I have is different now with 16 years in between.
Is that really? It's 16 years since? Wow.
Yeah, 1999.
16 years since this film?
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't feel that way at all.
Oh, but by the way,
felt like yesterday's tragedy.
It did. Yeah, and she also looks identical.
Oh, yeah.
For someone who has not aged, she
has not
amazing.
aged.
Yeah,
No,
she looks
she's in the
amazing.
Freddie
For someone who has
Prinze,
not aged, she has not aged.
At all.
Well, it's interesting. It's very. I mean, it's 1999.
Yes.
The movie was made.
Pre-9/11? You say pre-9/11?
There's something so 90s about that hair color.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't exist in the natural world. You know what I mean? That red. That's not a color.
Totally. Well, it's a bronzy red.
Yes, it's very brash.
Yes.
Just to put it in
brassy.
brassy.
Yes. brassy. That's
You're thinking it's like
looking for. And then
It looks
like
like
a
a little
butterfly
bit.
clip.
It looks a little bit like a L'Oreal commercial. Like this, the whole color palette of the entire thing looks like. I don't know. It just feels like
All Sheer, L'Oreal
Yeah,
commercials
that's a diss.
aficionado.
guys. I'm gonna tell you.
I'm going to tell you what, June, go home, check his browser history.
Yeah,
it is wall-to-wall L'Oreal
Because
commercials.
I think that's very generous.
I'm not even sure what that aesthetic
Really?
is. What is that
Yeah.
I
aesthetic?
think it's this very like. I don't know. I remember. I
See, I feel like it's like a real Garnier Fructis commercial.
And I think it's real champagne commercial. At times it feels like it's selling the alcohol almost throughout the whole film.
It does have a little champagne element to it. By the way, if you did check my browser history, you would be sad to know that the last 7 things I Googled were every season of the Cosby Show theme song, and I watched them all back to back because each year they changed, and it's really
They
really
add
fun.
dances, yeah?
Well, the song also takes on like sometimes a Latin flair, sometimes a 1940s flair. It's
Well, the 1940s year, they dress them up. They wear like tuxedos.
Yes.
But they also dress up in other years too. A little bit. A little bit.
Oh, yeah, I love those dance sequences.
They were great.
I love them.
And that's the one where Rudy, like, she was
Yeah.
great. She was
Tempest
real
Bledsoe, I created a thing that she didn't really want to dance, and that's a runner throughout all of them. She's like, I'm not gonna
I'm the
dance.
one
Oh,
that
she's
doesn't
too
dance.
cool for the room. That is it. She's too cool for the room.
And then Keisha Knight Pullman, as it gets later, is embarrassed to dance as she was when she wasn't as a child. So you get to see a lot in these.
You love the growth.
This is worrisome. Everything you've just described is concerning.
Yeah.
It was. I just had a hankering.
to just dig into those Cosby openings.
You're a
Cosby intro historian.
Yes, and they were all great. To give you a little context, 1999, the top 3 films that year: Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace,
Best movie ever made.
amazing. The Sixth Sense.
A satisfying return to the Star Wars universe.
Not until JJ messed it up.
Oh yeah.
That was the closure I needed. I didn't need any more.
I openly wept at Phantom Menace on my birthday when I went to see it.
Wait, in
really?
sadness
Yes,
or an irony
in
of hating
sadness.
it? Of hating it or in the film?
Of hating, of being so crushed.
Oh, man.
So crushed at how bad it was. I like cried.
Was it a
like,
birthday party? You and
No,
other
it was
people?
like me and my girlfriend.
Okay.
It was a
At the time.
bummer. I had to see it twice before I could admit it to myself. Well, actually, 3 times before I could admit it to myself.
Just like this movie?
Yeah.
Alone in a theater being like, this is pretty good.
This movie is a kind of a perfect, bizarre movie. It's bizarre.
Oh, yeah.
So crazy.
Oh man, it really, and it has that thing, it has all of the pieces of a movie from this time, like a little bit of like a rom-com, a little bit of a magical realism, a little bit of like all a New York City kind of, like Sex and the City exists at this point, right?
No.
Not 99, no?
Was Sex and the City pre-9/11?
Yes.
Yeah, then it had to.
Got
Wait,
it.
so
Yes.
wait,
I think Sex
hold
and
on.
the City is
Carrie Bradshaw was in New York.
Oh, I guess I was 18. That's 1998. Yeah, I guess it was around. Yeah.
I think
Was
it
there a Sex and the City 9/11 episode?
Ooh, I don't know.
There should be, right?
I doubt
New
it.
York,
Well, because New York is the fifth
it's the
girl.
fifth girl. I was gonna get you to it.
Beat you.
Yeah, no, it's the fifth girl. So clearly, it had to have faced its own.
1998 to 2004, Sex and the City.
Interesting.
So this was hot in the second season.
Yeah.
And then this.
There's just and like so dense with like the best character actors of this whole era.
Oh, so
Christopher
many good
Durang
people.
is in this
Yeah.
movie, who's like a playwright.
Yeah,
like
amazing playwright.
They're all workhorses in this film.
Yeah.
These are all like people you hire when you
These
need
are all
an
New
actor or
York.
actress.
Yeah.
Oh, Patty
Amazing.
Clarkson is one of my all-time favorite like
She's
movie
fantastic.
crushes.
And she's good in this.
So good and
she looks
so
so
foxy.
good.
Yeah.
And